Welcome to Blueprint of Faith. My name is Ken Primus. I am your host on this journey into the Word of God, which is also called the Word of Faith. I've been a teacher of the Word for over 30 years. I was a pastor of Abundant Grace Ministries, and now I travel the world teaching the Word of God. According to the Word, without faith, it's impossible to please God. By faith, we understand. The Bible also goes on to say that the just shall live by faith, for we walk by faith and not by sight. By faith we believe that the universe was made. We are justified by faith. Fight the good fight of faith. At this podcast, we're going to talk about what really is faith, how we get it, how do we develop it, how to use it, so that we can receive the 8,810 promises of God, 7,487 of them being promises made by God to His beloved man. To my morning rant. Today I'm going to talk about what I believe is one of the most dangerous set of people on the planet, especially in America, and that is the white supremacist Christian that is backed by also the Christian church. And I think that someone needs to talk about it. And this morning I'm going to do my rant on it. I believe in America we are at a crossroads. If you study history, you'll see that the white supremacist movement has always been a small movement, and we saw that in Germany. When Hitler became chancellor, we saw that he went to jail and he failed at his first attempt to convert Germany to a fascist country, and he succeeded on his second attempt after he went to jail. And we have to take a look at Trump and his behavior, because it's not just him, it is all of the other white supremacists that are in places now. Before, they used to wear sheets and roam the streets, and they were cops and all that stuff. Now they're the same, but they've advanced themselves into politics, and you see them at a grassroots. They are changing all of the policies to support white supremacists. And we are not out of this battle as yet. We saw that, according to history, we saw Hitler went to jail, and he came out of jail, and then he ran again after a few years, and he won. And I believe Trump is more dangerous now today than he was when he was president. He tried it failed, and we have to remember that his first wife had told us that the only book that he ever kept by his bedside at night, and the only book that she ever saw him reading, was Mein Kampf. And I think if you look at this man, you'll see he's doing the exact same playbook as Hitler did. And we need to stop and take a look. And this white supremacist movement, they may be small. Democracy is not always, the masses has not always ruled. It's always a small group that have forced the masses. And after years of constant bombardment, in the system, they kind of conquered the system and jimmy-rigged the system. And America is in that pathway. We see it right now I do not consider the Republican Party alive. I believe it died. It is now a fascist party. There is no Republican Party. And I think until we begin to identify that, until we begin to speak the truth to that, then our mind will not be alert to fight them. The Republican Party is no longer in existence. What we have is a fascist party. If you look at them, they had power for 4 years. They instituted no policies of worth to the people. They took, and took. And we are now looking at this fascist party continuing to change and institute policies that are destructive and deadly. They are not interested in life. They are not interested in any of our life. And you could see the policies that they're doing with the coronavirus. You're seeing other policies with healthcare. These men and women are not interested in you. And a lot of these people that are supporting them, they think that they believe that they are going to be protected by this masses. But history tells a different story. And I hate the fact that the church is a part of this. These white supremacists, Jesus, that they carried a Christian cross. Now, if they look and see the reason why they can behave this way is because their Jesus is blonde hair and blue eyes. Jesus, the Messiah, is not a blonde hair, blue eyes. And until the church changed this identity of a Jesus that is blonde hair and blue eyes, they will never, ever, ever be able to stand up and be of power. Jesus was born in Bethlehem in a Muslim country. He is an immigrant. He is not blonde hair and blue eyes, and we need to face that. And they carried a cross that he died on. They don't even understand what that means. The cross, the redemptive power that was done in the cross, the purpose of the cross. Jesus says to love your enemy. He tells us in the Bible, tells us that we ought to treat foreigners as our own children. The Christianity that they're preaching is about hate. Jesus says to love your enemy. He tells us these things. So these men, these white supremacist men, are the most dangerous people on the planet at this time. And the FBI noticed this, and they have set before Congress and talk about it. It is not ISIS, it's not all of those quote-unquote Arab terrorists. The most dangerous people at this time is white supremacists, and this is worldwide. This is not just in the United States of America. It is the most dangerous set of mindset that is creeping into the world today, and this is on the global level. And until we find a way to stop these guys, they will continue to come and change and come at us. And we have to come together as a society. And we did not achieve voting rights until our white brothers and sisters came on board. Until the white women came on board, that is our secret weapon, is white suburban women. And when the white suburban women came onto the platform and started to fight concerning slavery and voting rights and all of these things, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, they changed the seatbelt laws, all of these things were accomplished by white suburban women. They gave Trump the presidency, and they took it back and they gave it to Biden along with the black brothers and sisters. And I want to let you know, if it was not for the brown colored people in the United States would not be a democracy. The paperwork that was signed, and we believe those words that were spoken, that all men are created equal and that we are here together, those white men do not believe that. And we see it every day in their life. They have been trying to subvert black men and the dark race. But the time has come for us to come together if we would like to save our democracy, because the white men do not like democracy. If they did, they would not institute such grievous laws. And so, because they do not like democracy, they will do everything to change it. All the power, they'll do all of these different evil things that they're doing right now on display. We're looking at them in the state of Texas. We're looking at them in Mississippi. We're looking at them in Florida. We're looking at all of these places, and they're telling us what they are all about. And it's time that we wake up and that we begin to do something about it. They will never stop. And because they will never stop, we ought to never stop. We cannot sleep. We cannot falter. We cannot slumber. And I am ranting this morning because I want to wake up my fellow white men and women, especially the white suburban women, that they are coming. If they take it from me, they're going to take your rights from you. Because if they take away the voting rights from me and you vote for the same person I voted for, that means your vote also will be nullified. And this is what I want you guys to understand, that they're coming after your vote as well. It's not just my vote. Because if I vote for this particular person and you voted for him, and they have laws now in Georgia that if they feel that that is not their candidate that they want, that they can put them in. Is that a democracy? No, it's not. They are not interested in democracy. They are interested in fascists, in power. That's who they are. There is no Republican Party today. The remnant of the Republican Party is gone. These men and women that are in that group are fascists, and it is time people begin to talk to them. I know a lot of you politicians can't say it, but I'll say it. These men and women are fascists. Come on out. If you do not believe in the voting rights, if you believe in the voting rights where you say that every man in America and every vote counts, the filibuster should not be in the conversation. If you see people attacking that, that is the fundamental principle in America. If you cannot vote for that, you are a fascist. This has nothing to do with color. It has nothing to do with, the filibuster can't do that. We saw what Mitch did with the filibuster. We saw what he did for the Supreme Court. So my belief is if these senators that are there claiming that we can't destroy that because of whatever, but they can allow Mitch to do it, and the voting right, the most fundamental thing in America, if you cannot put that aside to make sure that every vote counts, your belief system to me is corrupt, and you are on the side of the fascists. You are racist. It is time that we stand up for America or we don't. Either you want this woman to live because she is a precious, beautiful woman. If the idea that she is, the world has lit up for this. Men have died for this. If you cannot stand for that, why are you in politics? Why are you there? Thank you for coming to Blueprint of Faith. And remember, every child of God overcomes the world. For our faith is the victorious power that triumphs over the world. So be not weary, but imitate them who through faith and patience inherit the promises of God. Again, thank you for coming by. Please subscribe, and if you can, support us financially. We deeply appreciate it. You can do this by hitting the heart button. Until next time, invite your family, friends, neighbors, church study group, and even people you don't like. You can hear us on Buzzsprout, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Castbox, Overcast, and many more.